Hi everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how can you use Rig and Ragdoll wizards. So first make sure your object is not big. You can compare it to a cube and make sure your object does not have openings. It has one, but small things are not important. So first create Ragdoll button. There you have the Addon panel here. There are a couple of options you can use. You can create rigging or create Ragdoll like here. Then increase the bone iteration number. If you give a higher number, the more precise it will be. So if you have like messy object, you can uncheck both of these and create volumetric collision type. The important parameter here is the separation angle. When you turn separation angle into 0, it is giving me even pieces like here. But when we increase the separation angle, for example, it is combining the pieces if the angle between objects is small. It is going to be more blocky like here. Then if we increase the separation angle value, it will merge all of the pieces. So these pieces are not going to move. And you basically have more optimized Ragdoll. The second thing is length number. It is creating bigger or smaller pieces. I am just going to go stick with the defaults for now. If you have like bad topology object or your object has thin faces, you can remesh your object here. And increase the resolution and adaptivity. So you is going to have more precise results. If you visualize the remeshed object, you can see that the tail is missing. If that kind of thing happens, make sure add solidify modifier before remeshing. And there you are. You see we have the tail back. I'm just going to go with this.
The constraint neighbor count means that every piece is going to be constrained together. For example, consider this piece being visualized. Let's apply this and check our pieces. It closes 3 pieces. For example, this piece is going to be constrained to this piece and this one because these are the closest ones. So our summation is ready now, but we don't have any collision objects. Let's create a ground plane and give it a passive rigid body. Now when we visualize, we can see something happening. So we create the angles. As you see, something's happening. The problem here is that the constraints are turning on that axis. When we update our constraints and increase our constraint iterations, the legs are not turning in the wrong direction. Let's increase the numbers a little bit. That rotation here is important because if you limit that rotation, for example, this kind of rotation, it will not allow it to rotate in that direction. So when you play the simulation, you are going to have a better looking, more realistic result. For example, we see here a little bit of braking. Let's move on. In the settings, we can create initial velocity. You can play with the angle settings here. For example, you can increase the angles. It looks pretty fine to me. Let's look at our Ragdoll. There are a couple of options here. Actually, I want to show you one more thing. There is a Create Piece Transform here. What can you do with that? Select a piece here and create a piece transform. It will automatically snap that piece there. For example, when you move that, you see? Let's go. We can duplicate our simulation with the Duplicate Ragdoll button. Type in the duplicate count, for example, 10, and the offset for each duplicate. When we create an offset on the z-axis, the height of the object is 2. When we create duplicate ragdolls, we can create more. Then we give it a traditional set. Here's our duplicate. Check the Show Simulated option and just watch the simulation. Here's our simulation. You can play with these settings. You can decrease substeps and keyframe iterations and everything to create more precise angles.